drink though?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, why, bro? Let's call tricks.
You're gonna hit me with the first one.
No.
All right, welcome back. And we are here for the episode that follows week 14 of the Infinity Fantasy Baseball League. And what a week it was. We had, for the first time, I think in history, we had 2 teams scoring in the 600s. We had a few teams scoring in the 500s. On the flip side, we had 3 teams that didn't even reach 300. I mean, what the heck? I mean, geez, what a wacky scoring that's going on these days. Anyway, the story of the week has to be hit pitches, get bitches. And their complete and utter domination of Raleigh Fingers Your Sister. And I can't express this enough. I think this is the biggest margin of victory in the league this season. I'm not going back to check this, but I think it's probably pretty close to say it's fair that this is the biggest margin of victory in Infinity Fantasy Baseball League podcast history. I don't remember anything that came close to this. The margin of victory that hit pitches, get bitches won by 361 points. 100 points is a domination. 361 points. So let's put that in perspective. 361 points. What does that mean? So if we take the difference between hit pitches, get bitches score and Raleigh Fingers Your Sister score, the difference itself beats Raleigh Fingers. But it also beats Team TNT. And it beats, who's this other team? Brick City Mules. Just the difference beats those 2 teams. And it comes awfully close to what Juneau Eskimos scored, ALD3 Sour Grapes scored, Team J to the P scored. Can you imagine? That is crazy. I also want to go back and I want to suggest something here. The difference, again, would have beaten Raleigh Fingers in week 1. It would have come very close to Raleigh Fingers Your Sister in week 12, 13. It would have beat Raleigh Fingers Your Sister in week 12. It goes on and on and on. This thing is just mind-boggling how devastating a loss this was for Raleigh Fingers Your Sister. And don't forget, Raleigh Fingers Your Sister was the best team in the Eastern Division once upon a time. But even more importantly, they sat atop the power rankings. I can't even get my head around what's going on with Raleigh Fingers Your Sister. I understand what's going on with hit pitches, get bitches. We've said some good things about them. They fell out of the top 5 last week. That was devastating for them. Had a bad loss and a very wacky power rankings algorithm last week. Anyway, we'll see if we can come back with that. Let's enough with that. Not quite enough. We're going to come back to it again. Let's get into the game recaps. And just so that we can spread this pain for Raleigh Fingers Your Sister out a little bit, I'm going to go to some other games and we're going to come back to the game film for that one. Let's go straight to Red Wine Redbirds playing Bat Flippin' Boys. The score is misrepresenting what the week looked like. From Monday to Saturday, I think Bat Flippin' Boys was either in the lead or maybe trailing by single-digit points. I don't know that it ever looked like Bat Flippin' Boys was going to win, but at least it was a fun match to watch until Sunday. Bat Flippin' Boys pitchers just didn't come through for them this week. That was upsetting. And Red Wine Redbirds had a couple little hiccups, but their pitchers came through. Anyway, game film. Our next game is hashtag Lawless Bearded Dragons. I don't think I've mispronounced that in quite a long time. Hashtag Lawless Bearded Dragons and ALD3 Sour Grapes. ALD3 Sour Grapes got off to a quick start, but it was never in contention here. Hashtag Lawless Bearded Dragons just had too much coming down the pike at the end of the week and won by 150 points or so. This is what it looked like.
God damn it, Dad, get off our Xbox!
Hang on, I almost caught the dragon.
You almost got me. No, me and Kyle are gonna play Guitar Hero.
I can get him. Wait, where's he going now?
You don't ever catch the dragon, Dad!
No! No, I said! I am your father! Put it back on!
Mom, you get Dad out of here!
She's my best friend. You mess with her, you mess with me. You mess with me, you mess with her. You mess with us, you better pray. Psh, and run.
Okay, also we're going to move next to, you would think a game that was decided by a single point would become the talking point of the game recap section. That we would be talking about this epic game. It was a 1-point victory for Team TNT over Brick City Mules, but instead, we're not going to spend any time on it, really. It was terrible. These are two teams that didn't even touch Club 300. They didn't even touch Club 290. They didn't even touch Club 288, and that's a fictitious club. Anyway, yeah, I don't even know what to say about this game.
What a colossal waste of everyone's time.
Now, I do want to share a little bit. Oh, you guys got clips. Yeah, my guys put clips together, so I want to share them. Anyway, here you go. This is what the game looked like, but it looked like this, and then it looked like this, and it looked like this, and it looked like this, and whatever. Team J to the P playing Grip It and Rip It. Another JP loss. Sorry to see that, but Team Grip It and Rip It is good. They are not a bad team. They're not up there with, Red Wine Redbirds and Hashtag, but they are a good team. And yeah, this is what it looked like.
Almost. It's coming down.
Oh, you know what? It's time to get back to the Raleigh Fingers Your Sister game. I know we want to call it the Hit Pitches Get Pitches game, but I'm taking a lot of pleasure in calling this the Raleigh Fingers Your Sister game. So we got a little bit of game film here. That's it. I won't torture Raleigh. Oh, I am going to torture Raleigh Fingers a little bit more. Okay, moving on. We've got Krusty Brand Baseball and Matt's Marauders. We've seen week to week Matt's Marauders are capable of beating anybody. However, it appears that's not true when they play Krusty. They, being Matt's Marauders, apparently only tops the elite teams and the teams that are just on the cusp of making the elite teams. Anyway, they beat a Krusty Brand Baseball that was looking at what, like a 9-17 record or something like that. Anyway, game film.
Let's go. No master.
We now move on to everybody's favorite team to talk trash about, Honey Nut Cheerios. But this week, like many weeks, not a lot of trash that we can talk. They knocked off Juneau Eskimos. Anyway, this is what it looked like. And with that, Honey Nut Cheerios once again confirms their top 5 ranking, but where in that top 5 we're going to have to wait and see. We'll see what the algorithm looks like this week. I don't know. This week they didn't show it to me. I had no say in it. They just gave me the answers, and we'll have to check in on that later. The last game, Arizona Diablos Blancos playing Breaking Brad. ADB's showing a little bit of life recently. They've got Garrett Cole back slowly, but whatever. They're coming in. They just walloped. I think it was Bat Flippin' Boys last week, or at least 2 weeks ago if it wasn't last week. They're putting up points in the 500s. But then what happens? Yeah, they get their butt kicked by none other than Breaking Brad. A team that, let's see, a team that scored a whopping 289 points last week, apparently gifting Honey Nut Cheerios the win last week. They were reserving points to score over 500 this week. I guess Breaking Brad really has it in for ADB. I thought they had it in for Honey Nut Cheerios, but apparently they gave Honey Nut Cheerios the free pass so that they could take down ADB. Go figure. That's it. Let's move on. We have something else here we need to talk about. We need to talk about Club 500. Now, this is a little bit interesting because we had Club 500, we had Club 600. I'm going to show you the video of all the teams that scored 500 this week, and I'm going to let you see if you can figure out which of the Club 500 teams were also members of the Club 600.
Nice to meet you. All right. Nice to meet you. All right. Nice to meet you.
1/8 black.
Afternoon, my octoroon. Come on, bring it in there. Tuck that.
Yeah, I'm in there, dog. I'm in there, dog. I'm in there, dog.
You tucking it in there? But you tuck though. But you tuck though. You tuck it.
I'm in there. I'm in there. I'm in there.
All right. Nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you.
All right, something I've been wanting to do all season is actually talk about the divisions and maybe get a little bit going here between the Western Division and the Eastern Division. We went through probably the first 8 or 9 weeks with no interleague play whatsoever. It was like old school, old-timey baseball. We just played in our divisions, and it was fine. But now we're doing some interleague, I think that's right, play. And yeah, it's still kind of ugly. We've seen the Eastern Division kind of fall behind the Western Division. It's a 30-25 lead for the Western Division, but we're just a little over halfway through the season, and the interleague play's picking up. So anyway, we're going to keep an eye on this and see where it goes.
We are going to win this war because we have the best men. And because they're going to get better. Much better.
Yeah.
All right, folks, it is Joey Gallo time once again, and here we go. I got a little bit of a painful point to bring up here regarding Joey Gallo before I get to the real content, and that is, as Cardinal fans, I have to say, it's been all over Twitter. I fear it's true. We have Joey Gallo 2.0 on the Cardinals roster. I hate to say it, but somebody's got to bring it out there. Somebody's got to put it out, and it looks like it's true, folks. It looks like it's true. So if you're holding Gorman on your team, it's like holding Joey Gallo. So anyway, just throwing that out there. But now, the more important piece, and the reason we really, truly have a Joey Gallo segment this week. So if you remember way back in like week 3, week 4, something like that, we talked about bringing the entire fandom of this podcast into the search. We're going to ask the audience to help us going back beyond 2023 if anybody had Joey Gallo on their roster. We've been looking through files, emails of past draft recaps, trying to find who else might have had Joey Gallo to add to the Brotherhood. I mean, as the story goes, the larger the Brotherhood, the more use the brothers get from one another. Anyway, it's a community service project we've got going on here at the podcast. So if you happen to know that you or somebody else in the league had Joey Gallo on a roster at some point in this league, going back as many years as it was around, just let us know. We'd like to add them to the ED. Now, you guys haven't been that helpful, but I just want to remind you of our community service project, and that is to build out the Gallo Eskimo brother tree. The intense sleuthing that my interns have been doing And with the use of some new technology and AI,
generative AI, AI. It uses AI to bring AI.
have devised a way to look even deeper into the Eskimo Brothers situation. And we discovered two, not one, two more Eskimo Brothers for Joey Gallo's group. And let's go to the first one here. Going back all the way to 2020. That's correct. We now have the ability to go back to 2020 to see. And here we see in the draft, Matt's Marauders drafted Joey Gallo. It's right there. Can't dispute the facts, Mr. Marauder. You paid $36 for that pile of dog crap. You paid more for Joey Gallo than you paid for Vlad Guerrero. Anyway, moving on. We also dug deep, not quite as deep as 2020. We went back to 2022 and we discovered that none other than the King Gallo hater himself, Bat Flippin' Boys, drafted Joey Gallo. And he paid $38 for Joey Gallo. $38 for Joey Gallo. Anyway, it's interesting. We've been able to add two more Gallo Eskimo Brothers to the EBDB. And we're going to keep looking. We're going to keep looking. All right, now we get to a key part of this podcast. It is amazing how much garbage you have to sit through before you get something that is even remotely useful. But this is going to be useful. Very, very useful. So here's what I've done. I've gone back and I've done some analysis on all of our previous weeks and where the scoring comes from. It's not that deep, but I think it's useful. So what you see here is a comparison of the past 5 weeks compared to the 5 weeks that preceded that. Now it's through week 13. I didn't have time to add the scores that wrapped up yesterday into this, so I had to, it's a week old data, but I think it's all pretty directionally accurate. So what you're gonna see here is in green, these are the teams that have been improving. The red teams, they're the teams that have been declining. So again, we're taking the 5 weeks that ended in week 13 and comparing that to the 5 weeks that ended maybe like week 7, week 8, I don't remember. So what you'll see is hit pitches, get bitches, green team, 83 points have been added to their average weekly score in the most recent 5 weeks compared to the previous 5 weeks. It's a 20% increase. She has been kicking butt on the managerial strategy movements. 83 points, considerably better than she was earlier in the season. Bat Flippin' Boys, same thing. Look at that, 63 points. He has increased his score, weekly score, by 63 points on average in the past 5 weeks. Just good job, good job. We see Team TNT has done the same, Grip It and Rip It. Anyway, you get the point, right? Teams in there in the middle, they're just sort of hanging. They're within 5% of their previous 5 weeks score. So, are they improving? Are they declining? It's the jury's out. The jury's out. The gray bar there, Redbine Redbirds, pretty remarkable. Redbine Redbirds has done nothing to improve their team at all. Now, they didn't need to. They didn't need to at all. They are kicking butt everywhere they go. And then you get down there, Krusty Brand Baseball has fallen 46 points a week. ALD3 Sour Grapes, 48 points per week. And then the story of the year. I'm sorry, hit pitches, get bitches, but I think Raleigh Fingers Your Sister falling off a cliff is probably a little bit more interesting to the audience than hit pitches, get bitches rise. They have fallen 21%. Their point total, their weekly point total, they have lost 1 in 5 points for whatever they did 5 weeks ago. The last 5 weeks has been horrendous for them. I don't know if it's injury. I didn't do any analysis. That's your all's job. You can analyze your own teams. But anyway, I'm hoping Raleigh Fingers Your Sister, it's just a IL stint for too many players and that they come back and that you're competitive. It's a better league when you're competitive. That's true for Krusty. That's true for ALD3 Sour Grapes as well. Juno, all of you. Look at that. Honey Nut Cheerios. one of our top 5 teams. They've dropped 18 points per week. Anyway, 5-week analysis probably should round out much in the way of injuries and pitching starts, right? The 2-start weeks, the not 2-start weeks. I think 5 weeks should kind of eliminate that from being a cause of this. Anyway, you get the point. Now, here's the next important piece. Let's figure this out a little bit. So hit pitches, get bitches. Where did their 83-point gain come from? Rollie Fingers, your sister, 103 points a week. Oh, devastating. That's like almost half as many points as TNT scored this week. And anyway, I don't know what to say about that. And Brick City, right? Anyway, but let's see where they actually came from. So where did these points come from? All right, so what you're looking at now is a graph of some type, a plot graph, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, it's quadrants, and I wish they would have drawn the lines a little bit better, but you see in the middle there, you can see 4 quadrants. Up in the upper left, declining hitting and improving pitching. There was nobody over that stretch of time that had a decline in their hitting and an improved pitching. Up in the upper right-hand corner, that's the sweet spot. That means both your hitting and pitching has improved. Look at hit pitches, get bitches. They are skyrocketing on pitching points that they've added. They've added somewhere, it looks like over 70 points per week in pitching and about 10 points per week in hitting. Go out a little bit further to the right. Bat Flippin' Boys and Team TNT. They're averaging, they added about 30 points in hitting and about 30 points in pitching. Pretty impressive. Looking down at the bottom right-hand corner, it's kind of crowded down there. Teams that are improving their hitting, but their pitching is falling off. ALD 3 Sour Grapes added 20-something points of hitting, but you've lost almost 70 points on your pitching point. So y'all can take a look at this. Rollie Fingers, your sister, down there in the bottom left-hand corner, lost almost 80 points a week in pitching and 30 points a week in hitting. Devastating story. But anyway, something kind of interesting. The only thing else I'll point out on this is over on the far right-hand side in the middle is Arizona Diablos Blancos. They have added nothing to pitching. Literally, their pitching points have stayed identical from the last 5 weeks to the previous 5 weeks, but they've added a little bit over 30 points in hitting. Now, we'll see when Garrett Cole, when he is able to really contribute to this analysis or contribute to the point totals, see if that's able to do anything here and even bring ADB up into that upper right-hand corner where we've got hit pitches, get bitches, Bat Flippin' Boys, Team TNT, Grip It and Rip It, Matt's Marauders, Breaking Brad, doing what everybody wants to do. Increase hitting, increase pitching points. Anyway, thought it would be kind of interesting. Wanted to throw it out there. I will try to put this in I don't know how interesting it is. If you can't see it here, I'll throw it into the chat group, but I think it should be legible. Anyway. All right, power rankings time. Let's just get down to it. Let's not beat around the bush at all. We're going to get down our number 16 team. Everybody knows who our 16 team is. It's Team J to the P.
It's hard waking up every day and still being fucking ugly. That shit get old, like.
All right, but this next position, number 5, I say this, I'm like a broken record. Y'all make it so hard. I mean, I think the top 4 makes sense. But you get to this number 5, and people, they bounce in here and then they lose, or they bounce in here and they don't score. It's tough. It's really, really tough. You guys just make it tough. Last week, our number 5, Bat Flippin' Boys, just got demolished by Redmine Redbirds. Respectable, but they lost. ADB lost. Juno lost. I don't know what else to put out there. I mean, I guess you could say Krusty with their 500 club is trying to make a claim for it, but they're like, what's the record? Let me just look it up here. Yeah, 11-17. Come on. I don't know. I just don't. I don't think there's an answer here. So I think we just roll the dice and see. Just number 5 is going to be determined by a dice roll. And winning the dice roll is Arizona Diablos Blancos, our number 5 team. Congratulations, you won a dice roll. All right, who's next? Number 4, well-deserving, of course. In fact, I hope they know that they were the number 4 spot, as I made a big fuss about number 5, and that's Honey Nut Cheerios. Congratulations again for bouncing around the bottom of the top 5. Number 3, this is a little bit sad. This is a little depressing for me. Hashtag Lawless Bearded Dragons falls from number 1. Hashtag Lawless Bearded Dragons spent 5 weeks in number 1. So with hashtag falling from number 1 to number 3, that opens up that number 1 spot. I took a lot of flack last week with hashtag holding that number 1 spot because of the algorithm change. Well, we're back to normal algorithms, right, guys? Like, you didn't, right? Yep, they are back. I played with it last week, but this week they're going back to the same whatever, calculus, fancy math stuff that they always do to get to that power ranking. And oddly enough, our number 1 and number 2 are so close that the fancy math people, they couldn't figure it out. So what we're doing this week is we're going to a dance-off. That's true. We could not determine the number 1 team from the number 2 team on the field, so we're going to a dance-off. Our 2 teams that are up for consideration, of course, Red Wine Redbirds. The second one, cracking the top 5 after being knocked out last week. She's back in it. It's Hit Pitches, Get Bitches. It's a dead heat on the field. So to the dance-off. Who goes first? All right. We're going anti-alphabetical. So Red Wine Redbirds, dance it up here, buddy. That was some pretty good stuff. But let's see it. Hit pitches, get bitches. Show us what you got. And with that, we have our number 1 team. Our number 1 team for week 14 is... Hit Pitches, Get Bitches, making a jump from outside the top 5 to number 1. First time that's happened in podcast history. Excellent. Congratulations, Hit Pitches, Get Bitches. You are just winning on all fronts. All right, and that brings an end to this episode. Good luck to everybody this week. Good luck to everybody except for ALD3 Sour Grapes. I'm not doing that crap where I wish good luck to my opponent anymore. I've lost 5 in a row. To hell with that. ALD3 Sour Grapes, I hope you just fall flat and your pitchers crap the bed and I get a victory, because it's been a long time since I've had that sweet victory. So anyway, I looked, what's the game of the week? Nothing stood out to me. The only thing that really stood out to me, Hit Pitches, Get Bitches. Take it easy on Team J to the P. You're going to get your win. Take it easy on them. There's no extra points for like a threshold score. Like, get, you know, I'm sorry, J to the P. You're going to get your ass handed to you this week. Good luck, everybody. ALD3 Sour Grapes, not so much. Bye.
I'm tired of suffering. I'm tired of suffering.
This is how legends are made. are made like iron from the fire, getting stronger. This is how legends are made. Above it all, untouchable.